DidikTV KPM.
Assalamualaikum, selamat petang, salam sejahtera kepada semua yang menonton Road to Success STPM 2020. Saya Nisaki, hos anda untuk episod kali ini jam 4 petang hingga 5 petang. Seperti biasa, kita ada subjek yang akan kita bincangkan bersempena dengan peperiksaan STPM yang akan berlangsung insya-Allah bermula 6 April akan datang. Baiklah, sebelum itu rakan-rakan semua Nisa ingatkan supaya kekal menjaga SOP di mana sahaja anda berada dengan memakai pelitup muka di tempat awam, jaga jarak sosial sekurang-kurangnya 1 meter, kerap cuci tangan menggunakan air dan sabun serta sanitasi tangan anda apabila perlu. Dan apabila anda sudah berada di dalam situasi yang agak selamat, barulah boleh buka mask. Baiklah, sebelum itu Nisa nak ingatkan bahawa hari ini topik kita adalah Mathematics M. Mungkin ada yang agak keliru. Ada Mathematics M dan ada Mathematics T. Dan Mathematics M merupakan subjek yang kini boleh dijawab dalam dua bahasa. So once in a while throughout the episode, I might be speaking English a little bit here and there dengan cikgu yang akan bersama-sama dengan kita pada hari ini. Agak-agaknya siapa guru yang akan bersama-sama dengan kita? Semestinya beliau adalah seorang yang sangat-sangat berpengalaman. Jom kita berkenalan dengan beliau. Kita tonton profil ini. Penonton semua, jom kita mempersilakan Cikgu Zana ataupun Cikgu Zainariah dari SMK Tunku Ampuan Dura, Seremban Negeri Sembilan. Apa khabar Cikgu?
Alhamdulillah, Nisa.
Ya, Alhamdulillah. Lemah lembut Cikgu orang ini saya kat sini. Alamak, macam mana mata pelajaran kita hari ini agak-agak di sekolah kan? Cikgu Zana merupakan cikgu yang garang atau tidak?
Wait and see.
Wait and see. Alamak, kita pula yang gementar. Jadi yang di rumah jangan gementar-gementar, stay sehingga ke hujung rancangan.
Yes.
Jom Cikgu, kita nak ke meja di sana.
Okay.
Seperti yang saya sebutkan tadi, antara SOP yang kita perlu patuhi adalah dengan mensanitasi tangan anda. Silakan.
Okay.
Sanitasi tangan anda apabila perlu dan dengan menjaga jarak sekurang-kurangnya 1 meter bahu ke bahu. Dan apabila anda sudah berada di dalam situasi dan jarak yang selamat dan perlu membuka pelitup muka anda, silakan Cikgu. Yes. Jangan lupa untuk simpan pelitup muka anda di dalam bekas yang bersih agar boleh digunakan kembali sekiranya masih bersih. Kalau dah kotor tu, tukar pelitup muka yang baru, bawa yang lebih kalau ada dan jangan melebihi penggunaan sehingga 8 jam. Baiklah, Cikgu, tadi saya ada sebut Mathematics M, ada Mathematics M dan juga Mathematics T. Mungkin untuk permulaan Cikgu boleh terangkan kepada penonton kita apa beza Mathematics M dan Mathematics T. Modern dengan tambahan ke? Bukan kan?
No. Okay, the difference between M and T is that M is for management.
Management.
Whereas T means for technology.
Technology, wow.
Technical. So students who are taking Mathematics M are from the social science students who are interested to pursue their studies in finance and actuaries. Accountancy.
Sangat-sangat menarik. Yes. Jadi rakan-rakan di rumah, pelajar-pelajar perakaunan khususnya boleh memberi perhatian yang agak lebih, sediakan pen dan kertas untuk episod kali ini. Tapi sebelum kita meneruskan pelajaran kita berehat dahulu. Kita akan jumpa anda selepas ini. Jangan ke mana-mana.
DidikTV KPM. DidikTV KPM. DidikTV KPM.
Bagi subjek Max M, topik yang saya paling suka adalah critical path analysis. It's because interesting path the way how present the AOA and AON networks, and from there we can determine the critical activity and the times when the project will be complete and so on. For the part that hard is for me is the interest, annuity and the depreciation, because some question will test you how to use the present value and the future value. Thank you.
My favorite topic in Maths M is interest, annuity, and depreciation. The topics I found hard to understand is linear programming.
Saya rasa bahagian yang susah ialah topik game theory. Saya mengambil Maths M kerana saya ingin further study course yang berkaitan dengan mathematics di universiti. Saya rasa cara untuk lulus Maths M ialah membuat latihan secara berterusan.
Bagi saya, semester 2 dan semester 3 adalah lebih senang berbanding semester 1. Untuk semester 3, saya rasa chapter yang paling susah dikuasai oleh saya ialah chapter yang terakhir iaitu game theory.
For me, the most favorite topic is actually critical path analysis because it is very easy to understand and is very beneficial when it comes to management field. That's all from me. Thank you.
DidikTV KPM.
Itu dia pendapat rakan-rakan kita mengenai subjek kita hari ini iaitu Mathematics M. Cikgu Zana tadi ada yang mengatakan it quite hard at the beginning and then it turns out a little bit easy afterwards. Yes. Ada yang rasa macam ada topik yang saya minat, ada yang tak minat. Susah ke sebenarnya Mathematics M ni?
It depends on the students. Okay, is that if you like the subject, you tend to like all the topics. Okay, so but there are one of those topics that looks like confusing, but after they've done the exercises, it's quite easy to it's quite easy to do.
Ya, seperti yang rakan kita, salah seorang rakan kita katakan tadi, kalau buat latihan dengan kerap dan berpanjangan, insya-Allah anda akan memahami topik yang dipelajari. Baiklah, Cikgu Zana, I am not alone today. I have brought my friends over here for our episode today. So kita nak mempersilakan rakan-rakan dari SMK Tunku Ampuan Dura Seremban Negeri Sembilan. Hello everybody. Hi.
Hi.
Hi, how are you guys? You guys can actually turn on the mic for me.
Turn on the mics. Ciu.
Do you get? Oh, okay. Ada kawan-kawan dengar Nisa tak?
Can you hear?
Can you hear us?
Macam
Well, I don't think they hear us at the moment. Cikgu Zana, it's okay. Kita akan berkenalan dengan rakan-rakan kita sebentar lagi. Tapi kita dapat lihat rakan-rakan kita sudah bersedia dan diharapkan yang di rumah pun bersedia untuk topik kita pada hari ini iaitu Mathematics M. Tanpa membuang masa, jom Cikgu Zana kita mulakan.
Okay, terima kasih Nisa. Right, good afternoon and salam sejahtera. Salam to everyone who's watching Road to Success STPM 2020. And not forgetting to all the STPM Mathematics M candidates for 2020, which in the studio and also back at home. Right, today I'll be sharing on the tips and techniques on how to score paper 3. And as like I said, students, please get ready your past year questions from 2013 to 2014 and get your solution ready and later check whether you have done it correctly. Right. Anissa, let's start with getting to know. This is my profile, okay? So let's start getting to know the format of paper 3. As the BM says that tak kenal maka tak cinta. So today, let's look at the format of paper 3 first. Let's get to know the format so that kita boleh mula bercinta. Cinta dengan paper 3 Mathematics M. Okay. So the format of paper 3, the question asked are all subjective, okay, and they have to answer the question in 1 hour 30 minutes. The paper consists of 2 sections. Section A, there are a total of 6 questions and the total mark is 45. Students have to answer all the 6 questions. In section B, there are 2 questions, but students need to answer only 1 question, which carry a total of 15 marks. So, students, you have to answer 7 questions within 1 hour and 30 minutes. So, my advice is, when you practice, time yourself, okay, so that you can finish the section A in 60 minutes. So, roughly 8 to 10 minutes per question. And for section B, spend about 20 minutes so that you are left with 10 minutes to check and arrange your answer. Okay, students? Now, students will be tested from all the 6 topics in the financial and decision mathematics component, which consists of interest, annuity, and depreciation. If you listen just now, some students said they like interest, they like annuity and depreciation, but one student said it's quite difficult to understand. Then there's cost, revenue, and profit, linear programming, critical parts analysis, inventory models, game theory. Now, in section A, one question will be asked from each of the topic, hence the 6 question. Okay? Whereas in section B, the 2 questions can come from any 2 out of the 6 topics. So in other words, the students must master all the concepts and skills in all these 6 topics. So they cannot predict what will come out. But all the 6 will come out in section A. Only for section B, it's randomly pick any 2 out of the 6 topics. Now, let me share you some tips on what the student must do on the actual exam day. Okay, right. First, do read the questions, all the questions carefully. Do read all the questions carefully. And for section B, read thoroughly the 2 questions so that you will make a wise choice. Okay, otherwise, time will be wasted to move on to the next question when you realize that the one you are doing is difficult.
Yes.
So please read the 2 questions. And then when answering the question, please answer according to the instruction given in the question. Why? Because the instruction will determine the methods to be used when solving. For example, use the flat rate depreciation method to find the book value. So the instruction here is use the flat rate depreciation method. So you have to use this method. This is arahan. You cannot use other method. Okay. Next, when answering, you must also answer according to the question requirement. This determines how to write the answer. Okay. So for example, give your answer to the nearest one. So students must run off their final answer to the nearest one. Okay. So if you do not follow the instruction or the requirement, you will bound to lose the marks.
Yes.
Okay, so marks will be deducted. Next tip, use the time wisely. Okay, because time is very precious. Okay, so how can we tell the amount of time to spend for each question? So we look at the marks allocated at the end of each question. Okay, the marks allocated give a fair indication on how much time to spend for each question. Okay, so it's not worth spending 10 minutes for a 2 marks question. Okay, right. If you still cannot answer and the time is already exceeded, okay, please proceed to the next question and redo later.
Yes. Do not wait.
Yes.
Do not wait. If you have difficulties answering one specific question, just move on to the next question first.
Yes, that's right. Okay. And then for my advice, so always start each question on a new sheet of question. On a new sheet of answer paper, so that it's easy for you to go back to the paper, go back to the question that you have skipped. Okay. So that is my advice, to start a question on a new sheet of answer paper. And then, okay, this is the most common mistake by students. They tend not to show all the working because they think that it's a 2 mark question, so it's not necessary to show the working. Even though it's 2 marks, okay, you have to show the working, okay, because this is maths. Okay, marks will be awarded if you have the correct working, if it leads to the wrong answer. Okay, but marks or the full marks will not be awarded if you have the correct answer but no working shown. Okay, students, are you with me? All my students?
Everybody's okay?
Okay.
If you guys are listening to us right now, give me a thumbs up.
Give me a thumbs up.
Everybody okay?
Okay,
All
thank
right.
you.
They're with us. All right.
Okay, lastly, do not despair. Okay, do not give up if the first part out of 2 or 3 parts of the question puzzles you. So my advice, read again the question. Why? Because the questions normally contain information, clue, so that the students can proceed on to do the later part. So do not despair, do not give up. Okay?
Don't panic.
Okay. Now, looking for keywords. Keywords is very important because it guides students on what to be done in solving. Okay, for example, write down state. So student must know that they only need to give the answer without having to show the working. So time is safe. Then calculate, find, determine. Method and working must be shown. Okay, notice that the third keyword, deduce, hence. Okay. Notice that it's in red because I want the students to be alert of this keyword. Most of the students tend to overlook the word hence because hence means you have to use the given or the previous result in the first part of the question to solve the second part of the question. If they were to use different results, okay, probably they will lose marks again. Okay. So please watch out for the word hence. Okay. Next, the keyword proving. So for proving, all the steps must be shown and include the application of formulas, laws, and theorem. And do not forget to conclude your solutions. And then we have drawing diagrams. Normally involves activity on notes, activity on arcs. So make it simple and neat and clean, and label it correctly using consistent convention. Consistent convention means the term used in your classroom. Okay, jangan reka term sendiri. Because sometimes student ni suka mereka cipta ya.
Wow.
Yes.
So advanced student zaman sekarang.
So use the consistent convention in the classroom. See, they are smiling. Okay, now these two keywords is very important. See the comparison when the keyword says draw graphs or construct graph or sketch graph. So let's look for drawing graph. When the question says drawing graph, okay, you have to draw an accurate graph. So you must use the graph paper. And students must choose a suitable scale to draw the graph. Then all the points must be plotted and make sure the graph drawn is a smooth curve. So you must use a sharp pencil. And don't forget, the axis and the graph must be labeled accurately. But for sketching the graph is simpler compared for drawing the graph. For graph sketching, you do not have to use the graph paper. Okay? And students also do not have to plot all the points, but they must show the general shapes, which is very important. The shape must be correct, okay, based on the function. And the necessary points must be indicated. For example, the x and y intercept, okay, must be indicated clearly in the graph, and also the maximum, minimum point if there is any. But for drawing and sketching, they insist that they must label the axis and the graph accurately. This is very important point. They have to label, be it drawing, be it sketching. Okay? So, what happens if the question says sketch the graph, but the students use the graph paper? What do you think this will happen?
I think they will still get marks, I guess.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
They will get marks, but they will lose time. Time will be used up because when drawing the graph is so time consuming, banyak masa diperlukan because you need to draw an accurate graph. Okay, so you won't be penalized, but you will be losing your time.
Yes.
Okay, so you have to use the time wisely. Okay, now this is very crucial tip how you present your answer. Like I said, we are in a relation with paper tree.
Yes.
So you have to have a proper closure. Okay, so how do you close your solution? Meaning that how you conclude your final answer is very important. Okay, firstly, the first tip is handwriting. Okay, right, students, handwriting. See, Chu is laughing already, smiling. Make sure it's neat and readable. Okay, Chu. Okay, and the final answer must always be simplified.
Shiu, are you guilty as charged?
Yes.
Because he smiled as soon as a teacher mentioned about handwriting neat and
Yes.
readable. I mean, my handwriting is not that good too, so it's okay.
His handwriting is like a doctor
But for examination,
handwriting.
must be neat and readable.
Yes. Yes, neat and readable.
Yes.
And then the final answer must be in simplified form, especially for fractions. Always check whether it's in simplified form. And then the unit RM must be stated because paper 3 involves a lot of money. Okay, because it involves
Yes.
financial. Okay, so it involves cost, sales and payment for chapter 2, for topic 2 just now. We have cost, revenue and profit. And also topic 5, we have inventory models. So it involves a lot of money. So make sure you write down the unit RM. But for other units, okay, you are encouraged to state whatever units given in the question. Tak buat pun tak apa. Okay? But RM is a must when it deals with money. For example, in STPM 2014, okay, the students are required to find the present value of payment. Okay, here, okay, the word is payment. So it means that means that the money are involved. Okay, so when money is involved, make sure your final answer, the unit RM, must be written. Okay, if you look at this formula, this is the present compound amount formula. Okay, students recall that compound amount formula. A is the accrued amount. Okay, this is the interest compounding period. This is the number of payment. Okay, now answers involving decimal numbers or decimal values. Okay, so for interest rate, for interest rate, the final answer must be in percentage form, and it must be reduced or rounded off to 2 decimal places because of the word rate. Okay, so rate means it must be percentage form.
All right.
All right.
Cikgu Zana, before that, are you guys still with us?
Yeah.
Our friends over here?
Do you want to ask anything?
Any questions?
Any questions?
Okay, I guess we all need a little break, Cikgu Zana, and our friends at home juga. Kalau anda perlukan rehat, cepat-cepat pergi ke tandas jika perlu dan kekal bersama kami selepas ini. I'll see you guys after this. Jangan pergi ke mana-mana, okay?
DidikTV KPM. DidikTV KPM.
Coming back to Road to Success STPM 2020, masih bersama saya Nisa, Cikgu Zana serta rakan-rakan dari SMK Tunku Ampuan Adura Seremban Negeri Sembilan. Baiklah, setakat ini tadi Cikgu Zana dah berkongsi sedikit pengenalan kepada kertas peperiksaan, kertas 3 paper 3 for Mathematics M. Jom Cikgu Zana kita teruskan.
Okay, saya sambung balik.
Yeah.
Okay. When answers involving decimal values, okay, now we are dealing with reorder point. So make sure your reorder point must be in integer, okay? But before that, I would like to state this condition is very important for you to get the full mark. So when the final answer must be rounded off to integer. Here we have 833.33. So please round off to 833 units. Okay. You can also
Teacher,
round
may
off.
I?
Yes.
Yes?
Teacher, may I ask a question? Can I
Yes.
round off to 834?
Yes, you may.
Yes.
Okay, so you can round off to 833 or to 834 units. Okay, Ko?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, teacher.
Okay, welcome.
Teacher,
Yeah?
Yes?
teacher,
Yes,
just now
Chiu.
the
Chiu, can you speak a little bit louder?
can you hear, teacher?
Yes, yes.
Teacher, just now the question rate means it must be in percentage form, right?
Yes, it must be in percentage form. Without the percentage
If I
form,
accidentally write in percentage form, I just write in 0 point something, I will get full marks or what?
it must be written percentage at the back, or you can write percentage in front. Okay?
Alright.
Okay.
Get.
Okay. Right. In working, please do not run off too early. Okay, the values, for example, here, when you calculate the consumer surplus, okay, you have to integrate the demand function. Okay, when you substitute the lower limit set P, make sure it should be at least 4 significant figure. Okay, notice that the first solution, the students have rounded off to 3 significant figure. Eventually, the values is not accurate. Okay, but for the second set of solutions, okay, the students have rounded off to at least 4 significant figure, and the answer RM130 and 55 cents is more accurate compared to the second solution. Okay, so make sure you do not round off too early in the working. Okay, next, to find the maximum or minimum values, you must show the testing, whether it is maximum or minimum. For example, STPM 2014-2A, although the question already states to minimize the average cost, and you already obtained the number of units X equal 18, but you must include this testing to get the full mark. So this is the condition for the students to get full mark. Without the testing, they lose 1 mark. Okay? So that's how we mark. That's how the students must obtain the full marks, by adding the condition. Similarly, when you formulate a linear programming model, do not forget to state the non-negativity condition. So what is the non-negativity? The non-negativity condition is X, Y greater equal 0. You must include. So this is called a linear programming model. Okay, the students should know by now how to formulate a linear programming model. But most students will tend to forget this condition. Again, with this condition, you won't get extra mark, but you will get the total full mark. Without this condition, you will lose 1 mark. See how important is the condition, yes. Okay? Then, when you're drawing activity on ARC or activity on notes, please students, I know that most of you bila exam, you are panicking and you tend to forget or overlook. You must use arrows, not lines, okay? Arrows to represent the activity for AOA, and the arrows represent the precedent relation for AON, okay? And for a complete network, you must include the key, okay? For example, in STPM 2014 Ulangan 3 in question 5A, you are required to draw an activity on node network for the project and indicating the activities duration, early start times and later start time. Notice the total mark is 7. Okay? So you must spend some time doing this question. So this is the complete AON network. Okay? Activity on nodes. The square boxes are called nodes. So notice that the arrows are written and the key is indicated. Is there any questions, students? Are you with me? Okay.
What will happen if I forget to write the key?
Obviously, you lose 1 mark. Okay? Obviously, you will lose 1 mark. So again, this is the condition for students to get full mark. Okay? All the small things. That's why I say closure is very important.
Yes.
And then formula. Please, students, familiarize yourself with the formula given in the question paper. But sad to say, paper 3, not many formulas are given. It's only from topic 1, interest, annuity and depreciation, and topic 5, inventory models. So make sure you understand the symbols, okay? You understand the symbols, what it means, and then you go back, try to figure out what is not given in the question paper. If you look at interest, annuity, there are a few formulas not stated. Can you recall the formula not stated? And even, yes? Anybody want to answer? What formula is not stated in the question paper?
What formula that is not stated?
Ko?
They are all examining the question, the formula really carefully.
Or can they see the slides? They can see the slides, right?
No, you guys cannot see the slides?
Oh, they can't
They
see
cannot
the
see the
slide.
slides, unfortunately. It's
Right.
okay.
It's all right.
Cikgu Zana can share with
right.
us.
Later on, you look at your question paper, try to figure out what are the formulas not stated in the question paper. Okay, so you go back. That is your task. Even the students back home,
Yes.
you go back and do your extra homework. Find out what are the formulas not given in paper 3. But take note, in paper 3, there's a lot of processes involved. For example, simplex method, lots of process, and then lots of construction, graphical method for linear programming, the activity on node, the activity on arc, and there's a lot of analyzing for game theory. In fact, inventory model pun you have to use analyzing, okay, and evaluation to get the answer. So for Form 6, all the questions are K-BAT, yeah? All the questions are K-BAT. Okay. Let us practice. Okay, see whether you can apply all the tips and techniques that
So you
have
guys
been
ready?
mentioned.
Some of them smiling widely.
Okay, make sure all of you are ready because I'm going to test you. All right, look at this question, question 1 from STPM 2013. Okay, you get, like I said, you get yourself ready with the question paper. Okay, if you cannot see or read the slides, never mind, you have the question paper with you. Right, now, can somebody state what is the instruction of the question?
Who can answer what is the instruction of the question?
Teacher.
Yes.
Yes.
Using the reducing balance method of depreciation.
Yes, you are right, Winling.
Yes.
You have to use the reducing balance method of depreciation. That is the instruction. So, what is the keywords find in this question?
Who found the keywords?
Winling,
Wunling, do you find the keywords?
can you state the keywords?
Okay.
Who wants to answer?
Okay,
can
besides Winling, anybody who wants to answer what are the keywords in this question?
Calculate.
Calculate, yes. This one?
Hence.
Yes, the most important keyword, hence, meaning that you have to use the annual rate of depreciation to answer, but the second part that is to calculate the book value at the end of 6 years. Okay, let's look at the solutions. Okay, usually, like I told you, you have to extract all the informations from the question. Okay, this is also a skill to extract information from the question. Now, when the question says, instruct you, use the reducing balance depreciation method. So make sure you use the correct formula. So this is the formula, okay, reducing balance depreciation method. And then you can also use this formula, it's the same, just that this is the basic formula. Okay, this one, the R has become the subject of the method. Now, I already found my R. My R is 0.2440. I round off to 4 significant figure. So do you think my answer is complete?
Is it complete? No.
No, why isn't? Why is not complete?
Because we must state the percentage form.
Yes, why
Yes.
percentage form? Why is it
Why
in percentage form?
Because they have rate.
Yes, the word rate.
Yes.
Okay, so you have to conclude in percentage form because the question says find the annual rate of depreciation. Good, Wunling. At least you are listening to my briefing just now.
Yes.
Right, now, find the book value at the end of 6 years. Okay, again, I presented 2 sets of solution. So which solution is correct?
Which one?
Which one is
The
correct?
correct solution.
My left hand side or my right hand side?
Right hand side.
Right hand side.
Why is it?
Why is that so?
Because there is rounded to 2 decimal place and instead the unit RM.
Yes.
Yes, very good. Why see?
Very good.
So the value is rounded to 2 decimal places because of cent. Cent must always be in 2 decimal places, okay? And then the unit RM is written because book value involves money. When money is concerned, please write down the unit RM. So notice that for this first set of solution, not that the working is incorrect. The working is correct, but the closure is not complete. Okay, because the students have forgotten to round off the 2 decimal places for cent, and the unit RM is not written. So these cases memang banyak terjadi. That's how they lose marks. Not that they don't know how to solve, they know how to solve, but they don't know how to conclude. Okay. Okay, now let's move on to the next question. Okay. We have here the total cost for producing X units of a product is given by, okay, that is the total cost function. Okay, this is the total cost function. And then the marginal revenue is given as, okay, most students will understand this symbol. This means marginal revenue. This is the consistent convention. R for revenue, C for costs. Okay, so find the profit function. So what is the keyword here?
Who knows the keyword?
What is the keyword here? Chong? Chong, I want to hear your voice. Chong, are you with me? Are you with me, Chong?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So can you please share with us what is the keyword to this question?
What is the keyword, Chong?
Yes.
Huh? I think the line is not that
the
good.
internet's like a little bit slow.
Anybody beside Chong?
Can other friends help him?
Ho?
Chan Hong?
Ho, you're quiet today. Why?
Fine.
Yes, fine. So the keyword is fine, meaning that you have to show working. Method and working must be shown. Okay, let's look at the solution. So first you must find the revenue function. To find the revenue function, we integrate the marginal revenue. So when you integrate the marginal revenue, do not forget to include the constant of integration C. Okay, you must state, even though the value of the constant of integration is 0, you still need to state C. And when you conclude, okay, this is your revenue function. So please remember, you must show the working to find the value of the constant of integration. Okay, because the keyword just now was find. So they have to show the method. Now, how to get the profit function? Okay, who wants to give me the answer? What's the formula to get the profit function? Core?
Revenue function minus cost function.
Okay. Profit function, PX, is revenue function minus the cost function. Okay, so what is your revenue function? So your revenue function is 300x minus 0.4x squared minus the cost function that's given in the question. Okay, notice that I have highlighted here, you must show the subject of the profit function PX in working. In order to get the method marks, okay, you must show the subject PX, or else you lose the method marks. Yeah. And then when you conclude, it's advisable to state the subject of the profit function. So when you conclude, please write correctly, because we don't know, certain year the examiner are very strict, but certain year is acceptable. Yeah. Saya pun tak tahu, kadang-kadang diterima pula, kadang-kadang tak terima. Sebab saya bukan pemeriksa, so I don't know. But sometimes when the result went down, I just wonder what happened.
Yeah, so students at home and also our friends here at studio, setakat ini Cikgu Zana telah berkongsi cara-cara untuk conclude the answer properly, so to avoid losing marks. Yang kecil-kecil itulah kadang-kadang itulah yang kita lepas pandang dan boleh hilang markah. Jadi kita nak berehat sebentar, maaflah tersasul-sasul pula saya. Berehat sebentar, jangan ke mana-mana, kita jumpa selepas ini.
DidikTV KPM. DidikTV KPM.
Kembali ke Road to Success STPM 2020. Jom cikgu, tadi cikgu dah highlightkan cara-cara untuk anda tidak hilang markah. Jadi what's next? Let's go.
Let's check. So now I want to highlight graph sketching. Okay, here the keyword is sketch. So make sure you remember what are the characteristics of graph sketching. And here the instruction is you must sketch on the same axis. Okay, that is the instruction. So for graph sketching, remember, you don't need to use the graph paper. So here I'm showing you two sets of solution again. So now can somebody tell me why solution B has 2 marks, solution A has 1 mark? Why is this solution A has lost 1 mark? The total mark is 2 marks.
Because solution A is because solution board line are not labeled.
Yes. So see the difference, because remember what I said, label the axis and the graph accurately. So for solution A, the lines are not labeled. Okay, for solution A, the lines are not labeled. Okay, so good. Was it Chong just now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Chong. So you have been listening to me. Well done. Okay, now for question 3, notice the difference between the previous question and this question. Now, you need to represent all the constraints graphically. So, the keyword here is represent the constraint graphically, meaning that you have to use the graph paper, and the instruction is shade the feasible region, and the keyword is determine, meaning that you have to show working. So, all these are clues for you to give the correct solution. So when they say represent graphically, you have to use the graph paper. And you have to draw the lines accurately.
Yes.
So the straight line, the first straight line. So remember how to draw a straight line?
Yes.
Okay. Plot 2 points correctly. And then this is the second line, and this is the third line. And remember the instruction, shade the feasible region. So the feasible region is bounded by the 3 lines. And then determine the optimum point P. So you have to show the search line. You have to show the search line. When you draw the search line, you have to label the search line. Translate and look at the point that touches the last point in the shaded region. That will be your maximum point, and show the working how you find the intersection point between the 2 lines.
Yes.
So substitute to find the optimum value of P. Okay. Next question, question 4. Okay, this is a simple question. You are given the AOA network. Okay. Let's look here. We have a variable X and a variable Y. Okay. So you need to determine. Remember the keyword determine. Meaning that you have to show working. But part B state means that answer shown without working. And give a reason. That is the instruction. So you have to give a reason. So again, I'm showing you 2 sets of solution. The first set only get 2 marks. Okay, just now I said you might lose marks. Okay, and here is 4 marks. So why is it here we have 4 marks? Here 2 marks. You lost 2 marks here.
Because the first question is to determine.
Yes, good, Nisa. You have been paying attention to my class. Okay, right. So,
new candidate of STPM, I guess.
Yes. Okay. So X, make sure you know how to get X. X comes from 3 possibilities: 10 plus 4, or 5 plus 3, or 7 plus 5. So choose X maximum. This is the forward pass. And Y is the backward pass. We have to minus. And for Y, we have only 2 arrows. So we have 16 minus 6, or 19 minus 3. Okay. So make sure working must be shown to get full marks. Okay, next. State the critical path. Okay. To state the critical path, you must identify the critical activities. So the critical activities are C, H, K, and M. So how you write the path is very important. So we must write as C-H-K-M because it is a path. The reason is the total float of all the activities is 0. Can we accept C, H, M, C, H, K, M?
Not accepted.
Why? A path is a laluan, satu route. Okay. But here there is no root. It's just activities. Okay, so that's the difference between a path and activities. Okay. Okay, the last question, if you mentioned just now, 2 students said they do not like game theory. Actually, game theory is easy because it involves matrix. This is a pair of matrix. This is a 2x3 pair of matrix. Once you understood the concept, it's going to be very simple. Again, the task word is determine. So you have to show working. But the question states optimal strategy. Why did I emphasize on optimal strategy? The word mixed strategy are not stated. So the students must determine whether the game is unstable. So by now, I think all of them know how to show that the game is unstable. So what must you find first? Anybody? Who knows?
Find the min,
Yes?
mean, teacher.
Pardon?
Find the min max and max min.
Yes, find the min max value or the max min value. So the max min value comes from the row minimum value. For each row, there's a minimum value. So the max min value is 0, and the min max value is from this column values. So the minimum of the maximum is 2. Here, the maximum of the minimum is 0. Since the values are not the same, so there's no saddle point. So the game is said to be unstable. So the students must apply mixed strategy. Okay. Now, there are 3 methods in solving the game theory to find the optimal strategy for both players. Okay, the first method is the easiest method that I've shown you here. Okay, this is called the formula method. You can use the equalization method and you can use the graphical method. However, I do not encourage you to use graphical method unless the question instructed you to. Okay, now, first you have to observe, analyze the pair of matrix, see whether you can apply the dominant strategy. If you can apply the dominant strategy, go ahead, apply. Because why? We can reduce it to a 2x2 pair of matrix. So once you have reduced to a 2x2 pair of matrix, then you can apply the formula. P is the probability of player 1 to play strategy 1. Okay, sorry. Player P, okay, to play strategy 1. Whereas Q is the probability for player Q to play strategy 1. Okay, now, so just substitute the values. See how simple? You substitute the values, okay, and P is 2/5, and you substitute the values of C, B, A, B, C, D, and you get 2/5. Okay, so the optimal strategy for player P is 2/5, 3/5. 2/5 represents strategy 1 of player P. 3/5 represents strategy 2 of player P. Okay, you can leave your answer in this form or you can write in words. But I discourage my students to write in words.
Kenapa, Cikgu?
It's going to be very lengthy. Okay, let me say it in words. So the optimal strategy for player P is to play strategy 1 with a probability of 2/5. And to play strategy 2 with a probability of 3/5. That's why I discourage my students to write in words. Okay, and then player Q. I'm giving you 2 sets of answer. So which is the accurate one?
Which is the accurate answer for player Q? Who knows?
Who knows?
Second.
Second one.
Second one.
Why?
Why?
Because there are 3 strategies for player Q.
There are how
3
many?
strategies.
Yes, there are 3 strategies for player Q. Good. This is strategy 1, remember, for player Q. Strategy 2, strategy 3. So since you have deleted column 3 is the dominant column. So you have to put 0. So meaning that Q will never play strategy 3. Itu yang students tak suka sebab it involves probability. Actually probability ni senang, yeah. So when you delete column 3, the probability becomes 0. So the correct answer is this one.
Second one.
Yeah.
Okay. Saya rasakan Cikgu Zana, apa pun soalan, whatever the question or the topics are, kalau rajin membuat ulang kaji, di sekolah jangan malu bertanya.
Yes.
I think the teachers are all open to help you guys to excel in your exam. Jangan malu bertanya kalau ada yang tak faham, ulang kaji dengan rakan-rakan, guru untuk menguasai sesuatu topik. Sekiranya anda masih ada rasa ragu-ragu, maklumlah STPM tidak lama lagi akan bermula. InsyaAllah bermula 6 April ini.
Yes.
Jadi pastikan anda bersedia and not to lose any marks at some small parts supaya kita dapat memaksimumkan markah supaya result tu nanti keluar. Yes, macam tu reactionnya nanti insya-Allah.
But Nisa, let me share some what most teachers are facing.
Yes.
Normally, the students will score in paper 2 and paper 3. Because paper 3, it involves their knowledge on accountancy, and most of them are accountancy students. They do account, so that's why they score in paper 3. They do economy, that's why they score in paper 3, because part of the topics come from economy, part of the topics come from accountancy. So, like I said, they normally score in paper 3, paper 2. However, I do not know why they have difficulties in scoring paper 1. Because paper 1 is from the algebra and calculus component.
Alright.
So probably they don't like additional mathematics. They have to have that in order to score paper 1.
Okey, baiklah. Thank you so much Cikgu Zana. Thank you our friends here from SMK. Tunku Ampuan Dura Seremban kerana bersama-sama dengan kami pada hari ini, dan diharapkan yang menonton di rumah mendapatkan input daripada perkongsian Cikgu Zana sepanjang 1 jam kita bersiaran. Selamat maju jaya kepada semua yang akan mengambil STPM, Mathematics M khususnya. Kita akan jumpa di episod akan datang. Kita jumpa lagi insya-Allah Cikgu Zana. Jangan lupa segala tips yang Cikgu Zana dah kongsikan tadi, beri perhatian keywords. Pastikan you understand the question so that you know what method they are going to be used.
Yes.
Jadi diharapkan membantu anda untuk menjawab peperiksaan. Yang lain semua okey ya? Our friends over here, give me a thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Alright, so thank you so much everybody. I'll see you guys. Bye.
Okay, teacher.
Okay, thank you students, and thank you everyone for watching.
DidikTV KPM.
Because of the pandemic, the STPM exam has been postponed for quite long. He's going to take his STPM exam soon. I hope everything will go smooth and he will get good result and get admission to a better university.
Sebagai seorang ayah, pastilah saya berharap anak saya akan mendapat keputusan yang cemerlang. Tapi saya amat yakin bahawa beliau akan mendapat keputusan cemerlang sebab saya memang nampak setiap hari dia memang berusaha dalam pembelajaran. Believe as yourself. You can do it.